thebobbypin.com.
Hey, what's happening?
Not too much, not too much. I just wanted to give you that point of reference before we jump into it. But I'm ready to go. Um,
Okay, cool. Let's go.
all right. So first question: who is the Hustle, and is he like a nod to Roger Zapman?
I am the hustle and no.
Okay, can you describe a little more like what? How does the Hustle differ from music or your other persona, Purple Wonder Lover, who we haven't met yet?
Well, well, okay. How exactly? All right. Music Soul Child is an R&B singer. The hustle is not. Music Soul Child sings about romantic love. The hustle does not. What the hustle speaks about is waking up, grinding, hustling, and getting yours every day. Whatever that may be, no judgment, not condoning or, condemning anything. I'm just truly speaking about the mindset that you should adopt in order to be successful in life, from my perspective. Every now and again, there are songs that may touch on, social interactions, and as a dude talking about female interactions, but for the most part, my main objective is to speak to that concept of get up and go and do for you and make it happen no matter what. If that answers your question.
It does. It does. So I definitely took a look. Excuse me. I took a listen to Hustle music, and with the exception of the first song, which I really like the live element. It felt very much like an intro to maybe an R&B show. The rest of the sounds are a little more
Uh,
slow. Do you have a comment on
no, I just laughed. What exactly did you listen to? The pre-up or Hustle Music? Which one did you listen to?
that? Hustle music.
Got you. Okay.
So the song I'm referring to is Ready.
Ready. Yeah, I'm ready. And you said that sound like what now?
The intro, it felt like I'm expecting Mint Condition to come out or something. Like it has a more of a live element than the studio, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but I don't get that. I don't get that at all. I actually almost didn't put that intro on there because it felt kind of rappy. With PT talking about saying, "Hey, you know what it is." I thought it was. I don't know.
Yeah, I appreciate that shout out to DC in that on that track too.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I feel like if people would just get out of the mindset of music culture, they'll appreciate the hustle more. I think when you start looking for music culture and the hustle, you're gonna be very disappointed. Which is why I get why people are kind of upset.
Definitely. Which was one of my questions. I mean, are you prepared for this image to not go over well? And if what happens next if this doesn't work out the way maybe you're hoping?
That's the crazy thing about it. I know that it's gonna go over well, or at least it's already going over well. There's always gonna be people talking shit about what you do. That's life. I'm cool with that. But there are people that really dig it, and that's the people that I focus on. If I'm worried about what a person's opinion about what I did every day, I won't get nowhere. So in my mind, I'm already successful. There's just some people that don't rock with it, and that's fine. Everybody is not going to like everything. That's okay.
Okay, that's definitely a great attitude to have. Have your musical peers offered you any feedback?
Yeah, yeah, all the time. And I take, whatever constructive criticism I can use. And, there are other people that may be speaking out of fear. And I take that into consideration as well, and that's probably why a lot of people didn't want to get in on it, in the beginning. But hopefully they may, think about it differently once they listen to the project, a little more objectively and understand, like, I put a lot of work and time into it.
Absolutely. Just to stay on that question a little longer, would you say your peers are maybe 50-50? They get it and they vibe with it, and then the other half doesn't, or is it a slant? And if so,
I could, I could try to put a number on it, but I do my best not to. I just take it for whatever it is. I know everybody is not going to understand it, but then the ones that do, some of the ones that do are on the project, and there are others that got it, but it's just a matter of time and scheduling that we couldn't figure it out. But, like I said, and I mentioned before, like everybody's not going to get it because realistically, it's not for everybody. It's expecting everybody to like chocolate ice cream. That's not a reality. However, the people that don't like it don't mean that they bad people or they stupid or they don't get it. They just like something else. And it doesn't mean that chocolate ice cream is whack. It just means that everybody's gonna dig it.
gotcha, gotcha. So, I would say that your sound is like the trill sound, right? So your song "Radio," which came out in 2009, um, sort of seemed like an entree, like to this sound for you. What was going on then?
That was, yeah, that was my attempt at, the beginning of what is ultimately the hustle. I wasn't even thinking about the hustle at the time, but I did want to contribute to the Southern hip hop culture, the Atlanta sound, in particular. But it was a little premature.
Okay. Now, is it harder or easier for you to create in this space, and why would you say that? Because the sound is a lot different from the Music Soul Child sound. So, uh-oh. Hello.
Really think of it as hard or easy. I just recognize whatever, I do my best to recognize whatever work that needs to be done and pray that people get that, I put a lot of, I put a lot of work in, and they appreciate that.
Okay. Awesome. Now, do you switch, or what am I trying to ask? How are you able to switch between the different personas? Like, what helps you do that? Do you go in and like have a certain ritual that you do as the hustle?
Nah, it's no different than you being at the crib and then going to your job. You just gotta, present yourself and, accordingly. When you around your friends, you act a certain way. When around your work colleagues, you act a certain way. When you with your parents, you act a certain way. Like it's no different. I think people are making this way too. And I know you got to ask the questions that you ask because that's what you do. But I really feel like people are making this way deeper than it actually really is. It's really not that hard. I don't have to go through anything because all of these personas, quote unquote, they're parts of me that y'all just have never been exposed to. I'm just now finding a creative way to give you guys more of me. If you're interested, if not, then cool, leave it. But it's here. It's actually I think would be a way for you to appreciate all the individual ones respectively because then you won't have to worry about me trying to funnel all of this crap into one lane. You won't have to worry about, quote unquote, music soul child trying to, try and turn up. You ain't got to worry about that. I'm going to just keep that persona and keep that brand intact. Meanwhile, over here, I got a whole other thing with another name that contributes to a whole other demographic, of people and not necessarily age wise, but just preference wise. And the same thing with P. Wonderlove. They don't, one doesn't really have anything to do with the other except for the fact that they're all me. If I could be multiple people, and I know that might come across a little weird, I don't know, but if I could be different people, like I really would, if I could be three of me, I feel like if that were the case, then people would have, they would take it way better. But I think a lot of people can't wrap their heads around one person full out being three different, you know, people in essence. But it's not hard for me because I'm all of these things all the time. Y'all just have only been exposed to Musiq Soulchild all of this time. But there was always the hustle. There was always P One to Love. Whether I had the name or not, or whether I had the sound or not, like they were always there. You know.
Gotcha. Well, it's definitely challenging for us to sort of process what you're saying. I mean, I think it's awesome. I think it's very brave of you
But then would you say the same thing to an actor?
to do. No, but that's what an actor does by nature, as opposed to.
But that's what no, that's what all creative people do by nature. As a matter of fact, that's what all people do by nature. It's just more celebrated and leaned on, or leaned into rather more with creatives. More so than any actors. But even though they're acting and reading lines, they have to evoke the right emotion in order for it to resonate with you, right? So it has to be believable. The best way to make something believable is it has to come from a real place. And that's what actors do, the good ones at least. They put themselves, psychologically or whatever, into that space so that they're tethered to some reality in order to get that point across to you guys. Now, with actors, they got to dig deeper. I don't have to dig that deep because all I'm doing is being different, facets of myself, no different than how you are at your job, how you are at the crib, how you are at the club, or whatever. No one person is the same thing all the time. There's consistency. There's a way to find consistency within that. But, just as sure as you got emotions, man, you change your presentation like the weather. Everybody does.
Okay, that definitely makes sense. I guess my next question, Janet Jackson, Beyonce. Most recently, we've seen Janelle Monáe sort of switch up and experiment with different sounds throughout their careers without changing their names. Do you think gender plays a factor into this, or?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I wouldn't say that. You know, it probably does, probably don't, but it's not something that I think about or even know how to answer.
Okay. So on your album or on Hustle Music, you had some features that are definitely out of the box and so far removed from Musiq Soulchild. Um, did you find that their process was any different from how you typically operate, or was it just smooth sailing when you guys got in the studio together?
Well, a lot of the song, well, most of the songs, the only song that I was actually in the studio with, the person that did it was Bone Crusher and T Pain. Oh no, and also Rodriguez and Cayenne. Um, the other ones, Scott King, Willie Hen, Pastor Troy, you know, they sent me theirs. You know, and the cat DAT out of Atlanta. You know, they just sent me their verses. I mean, I didn't really have to go through any process. You know, it's a matter of, yo, I got this joint. You want to be on it? Cool. Hey, do what you want to do. And they did it, and it fit, and it made sense. And I just rocked with it. But you know, yeah, it was, you know, of course it's going to be different from Musiq Soulchild because you know that. I don't know, man. Like I really can't stress it enough. The less you look for Musiq Soulchild, the more you'll see the hustle.
All right, you're gonna hate this next question because you said
no. I'm not. I don't hate anything. Go ahead.
All right, I gotta ask it. What would you say to the listener who feels your song "Turned Down" would have been better suited for music than the hustle?
It's no different than you saying somebody else singing a song will be better suited for another artist. I don't really think of it like that, you know. But that's because you know Musiq Soulchild, so you're gonna think that why didn't we just do that as Musiq Soulchild? Because the intention was not to do it with Musiq Soulchild. You know, the intention was to do it to do it as Musiq Soulchild. The intention was to do it as the hustle. Now you're always gonna hear Musiq Soulchild. That's what you know, so you're gonna hear that. You know, it's no different than seeing Tyler Perry, you know, being Medea. Every now and then you say, that's Tyler Perry in a dress. Yeah, but look past the fact that it's Tyler Perry in a dress and look at the character Medea. Folks like to nitpick a lot rather than appreciate what's happening.
Okay. Now, I definitely know people want to know the answer to this, and I've heard other people ask you, and I really want a good answer to this one, so I hope you're feeling me. Is the hustle persona more about fun, your fans, or money? Like, very honestly.
All three. Like, I don't understand why it couldn't be about all three.
You don't think
Why does it have to be just one?
you don't think it leans towards one more than the other?
To me, no, because it's all inclusive. That's the thing about, you know, this whole persona. It's all inclusive. I want to have fun. I want to entertain my fans, and I definitely want to make money.
Okay. So my last question: when you consider shows and tours, who do you see yourself being paired up with? Who do you see the hustle being paired up with?
Whoever folks want to see me paired up with. I don't discriminate, dude. Like, I'm just trying to get to the bread. It don't matter who I'm rocking with. You know, I'm still going to do me.
You got any people in mind, or it's just let it life play?
Whoever's available, I could put together a perfect list for anybody that's available. You know, I like to talk about right now. I like to do hypotheticals. I like to talk about right now. What's happening right now? What could we make happen right now? You know, and anybody that's available and whatever promoter want to put a show together and throw me on there, as long as the business is right, like I'm with it.
Well, I'm sure you're listening to what's going on now. Like, are there any artists that are influencing you that are current right now?
Yeah, you do want me to give you Kendrick Lamar. There you
go. All right, yes, I wanted a name. All right, is there anything else you want people to know about the hustle or about music or upcoming shows?
No, we pretty much covered everything. For any information, you can go to iamagroup.com for whatever might come up, and you can follow the hustle on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. The hustle, THEHUSEL.
All right. And before I let you go, I gotta try. Can I get any insight on Purple Wonder Lover? Because that's new to me. When I went to your website the other day, I did not expect to see that third guy.
Well, to be honest, I'm actually in the studio mixing the last record to go to mastering so I can put it out in June. So you'll know all about it in June.
All right. I'm gonna get the first look into.
That's actually why I was late for the interview, because I was trying to wrap this up, but I one song left, and I said, you know what, let me not keep pushing this thing back. So yeah.
I definitely appreciate that. Well, I appreciate your time. Like I said, I enjoyed Hustle Music. It was definitely different from you, and I'm looking forward to your next project.
It's different for who? It's different for who?
For me, it was different for me to listen to.
For you.
I'll take
Got
ownership.
you. Yeah. But it's so not different. It's no different than me doing another Musiq Soulchild song or a People in the Love song. It's all the same to me.
All right, I'll follow. All right, you take
All right.
care.
Thank you. Appreciate your support, though. Appreciate it.
No problem. Have a good night.
All right, you too.